Hello and welcome back to another episode here on Judith Plains. Well, we've passed a bit of time this morning so far. I've been washing down this equipment here. We do have a couple of contracts that were completed, so we'll just go and get them just now. But we do have a plan for today. So we did do 3 cultivating contracts. Well, I say we did, the workers went out and did it. So the 3 contracts, field 1, $33,746. Field 12, $27,170, and Field 58, $30,945. All of them had a $600 lease cost each because we rented the equipment. I was going to take on, where are we? The soybean contract, and I think it's one of these is sorghum. Oh, they're both sorghum. We were going to originally take that contract on, but I've been looking at this. From what I can see, a tanker is going to work, just a normal tanker, to move the ethanol, from what I found out. It may not be the case. So what I originally thought with pallets coming out of the production may just be into the tanker. Now it doesn't say on either of the tankers that it would work, so I don't know if it is actually going to work. However, we have enough here, if we go and buy some propane, to buy this and start the production. We do have 6,879 litres of dried corn. I think it was from 8,000 litres of corn because I think we filled the trailer. But we would need another, almost what is there of corn to dry again to get 12,000 litres of dried corn to make one cycle, to make the full cycle for a month. So my thought was, we need corn. And there isn't any contracts for corn. However, this field 7 here is affordable. And it's ready to harvest. So we could rent a harvester. It is going to be a smaller one. There is also field 20. Oh no, it's harvested. I seen the orange and I thought it was ready, but field 3 is also corn and it's ready to harvest as well. It is affordable. So what my plan is, we are going to buy this field just now. I'll just double check. It is still ready to harvest. It's fully fertilized, so it's ready to go. So now we need to rent a harvester. We're going to harvest this field of corn, and we're going to transport that straight over to, it's somewhere here, and I can't remember which one it is. The ethanol plant is somewhere here. There we go. So we're going to purchase that as well. Not right now, but we will purchase it once we've rented the combine and we've got what we need of the corn off the field, because we need to dry corn first. It doesn't take too long, but we're going to get the corn dried up first. Then we're going to go and buy it and then start taking things over. And we also need to get the trailer as well, which we could actually do now, and we'll take a worker up with us. When we go up there, we will leave, I think we'll leave that back trailer here, and we're going to take this over and leave this at the field we've just purchased now. Then we're going to head up to the store and pick up our new trailer, because we did purchase it just before this episode. That's why the money did drop a little bit. So that was $91,740 for the new trailer. It's just a normal tanker, but edited for this map to take the propane. And I think it's anhydrous is what the other icon is, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So we'll leave this trailer here. This is the field we've got, so it's not going to produce too much, but it is going to be enough to get this production started so that we can start making some money from it. Right, we'll leave that there. We're going to head up to the store, grab that new tanker, take it back down to the farm. We'll probably fill it up with, I'm going to say maybe 3,000 litres of propane on the way down. And then we're going to leave that here at the farm, and we'll get the workers going to take the combine down as well. We'll get that done. I'm probably going to purchase a smaller cultivator. I was hoping to get a bigger tractor, but let's just check the sale actually. No, there's still nothing yet. So we still need to get a cultivator to do that field, and I'm assuming the cornfield's going to need ploughed after this because it's a root crop. It's not a root crop as such, but it's classed as one for the game. With that, you need to plough it. I think there's another one as well, I just can't remember which one it is. But we're going to go up, grab the tanker, get the harvester rented, come down, get this field that we just purchased done. And if we have more time today, we may take on a couple of harvesting contracts. But I'd rather try and get away from the harvest any contracts really, unless they're good paying, like a fertilising one or potentially a spraying contract, see if we can actually get that sprayer working. But yeah, let's go and get this harvester. We'll see you back down in the field in a minute. We'll get this harvested and we can go and buy the ethanol plant. So we'll see you there. Well, that's us up here at the store. We did lease the little Claas combine. It's kind of the smallest one you get in the game, and the header is a 6-meter header for corn, which is what we need. So we're going to drop off the guy here. He's going to take that down to the field and make a start there. We're going to fill up this with some propane. So we'll see how much that costs. Let's just head over to the store. I say the store. Let's check the map actually. There is a fuel station. I think they do propane. Let's just check the... Where are we here? Propane. So all the corn dryers. So we can buy it there. Let's tag that place and see. Oh, it's here. Oh, I thought you could buy it from one of these fuel stations. Oh, maybe not then. Right, so it is just round the corner. Right, let's head round there and see how much this is going to cost to put in. We'll put in maybe 6,000 litres. Or we could maybe put in some more actually, because we're going to have extra corn that we didn't have already. And we'll have even more if we purchase the other field and harvest that as well. Right, let's head round there and see how much it's going to cost. There's the other yellow logo there. So that is the yellow logo, the green logo. So it is anhydrous, so that is on this map. Right, well that's good to know. Right, let's go and fill up here. I did get the tank, this tanker painted white instead of having it as a chrome, because if we do get, if we do get animals, we will get them at some point. We're probably going to start with just fenced pens instead of big barns. So we're probably going to have a tanker for that as well. Right, let's see. So what can we load in here? It's just propane, right? This may fill up quick, I don't know. That's not too bad. I think we put in about 9,000 litres this. That should give us... In fact, to be fair, this production is going to keep going, so let's just fill up maybe 15, 16,000 litres. See how much that's going to be. That'll do there. So it's just over $1 a litre must be. $18,004 for 17,050 litres. Well, that should keep us going for quite a while. Right, let's head over now. He's on his way with that combine. So we're going to get going with this field and we'll see you in just a little minute. I actually did it just now. You can see up on the right, it's just disappeared, but we did purchase field 3 as well because it still shows ready to harvest. So while we've got this on hire, he's actually still there. He must be getting it ready and checking over things. It was $124,296 for field 3, which has the corn that's ready to harvest for us. I also, the rental costs of the combine, I forgot to mention, $3,238 for the header, $11,551 for the combine, but I imagine it's going to cost us a bit more than that. Just because it's going to take us a bit more than an hour to get all of this done. I shouldn't have overtaken there. That's cutting it very close. That would be okay if we had grains in it, but we've got propane. We should maybe just slow down just a little bit. Right, we'll see you down at the field for a little montage of this, and then after that's done, we're going to go and buy the Rocky Mountain ethanol plant. So, our very first production already, and it's only episode 4. So, let's get on with today. You would think the roads in here would be a little wider than just a single track like this. But we haven't purchased it just yet, but we will before we unload this. Another thing I did find out about this when I was doing my research for how to load the actual ethanol is it sometimes doesn't take propane, which we can see here. If I open my little menu as well, there's nothing there. So I don't know if there's an issue with it. That's odd. Yeah, there's... I don't know. There is a mod that I found. I haven't found it. When I was kind of digging out about this propane issue. He is aware of the issue with it. So it is known. But there is a way to get around it. Just not sure. There's obviously not been a fix for it as yet. But there is a way to get round it. Let's try and purchase this first, actually. That's the train now. It's a good job I didn't try going the other side of it then, wasn't it? Right, let's... If I click buy now, so it's 240,000, yes. Right, that leaves us only $50,000, which isn't much, but we should do not bad from where we're at just now. And by the looks of it, buying this has made no difference, but this is definitely where it gets tipped. I did have a little fly over the map as well. Well, to say the map, just this bit here. There's nowhere else that I can see that allows you to input anything. So let's just try and unload as normal. Right, the action cannot be performed here, so it must be another point here that gets unloaded. So the only place I can think of is tanks of some sort. That must be for the grains, the dry corn, the sorghum, and the corn. So there must be somewhere else here that has some sort of tanks, which I think is maybe the other side, because we can't get round there, I don't think. Let's try it anyway. This is the fun bit of starting a new map and trying to figure out everything. Well, maybe can get round here. It's going to be very tight, that's for sure. No, I've hit the railing already. This is not the best of places to come with a truck. We've hit the railing again. Well, we're learning something new every day. Well, there was no triggers there showed up. But there's not any tanks, there's nothing obvious. But there's lots of buildings, so unless it's somewhere... What's around here? That's a spanner icon. I'm assuming that's where you would pick up the propane, but there's nothing... There's nothing else. I wonder. Or maybe I should do a little bit more digging with this and try and see if there's a specific place to put it in. There's nothing over there. Yeah, that's stumped me a little bit, unless it's something to do with that building there. But I'll try this hatch markings here. And I'm going to drive over the car park doing this, but it's not the biggest of sights. We'll see if we can get an unload. No. And there's nothing else here with an unload icon. Yeah, this is a tricky one. I'll try and maybe go on a bit more of an angle, get it more in the box and see if that makes a difference. It's probably not going to, but I've got to try. Nothing. Even if I press I, cannot be performed here. Right, I'll see if I can figure out where this goes then. Right, let's do a little montage now. We'll get into harvesting the corn. If we can't get the propane in anywhere, I will keep trying bits here and there just to see if I can find anything that works. If not, we were going to do that mod that I found, and we'll see if we get anywhere with this propane. If not, we can run it without the propane, but we'll still buy propane and just use a different mod. I'm going to go past it this time. We own this place now, we can drive on the grass, it's allowed. Yeah, if there isn't any way of doing it with the propane, we'll edit that out. But what we will do is we'll still keep a track of what we use with the corn or sorghum, because it's still the same amount as propane. We'll still buy the same amount of propane we need as to what we will be using, but every time we fill up the propane, we'll just delete it out of the trailer manually with a mod. I think that's the best way to do it. That still means we're paying for propane of what we should be using. If it's just not working, we're just making the production work. That's going to be annoying if it says on load now. We've gone the other way around. It says it can't be performed here. Just pressed unload all the way through there and nothing's happening. Right, let me figure this one out. Let's get into harvesting the corn because the combine is on hire and we've passed into the next hour already, so I'm imagining there's propane gas tanks there. I wonder if it's maybe somewhere here. There's just not a tip icon, is there? Anyway, let's get on with harvesting. I could be here all day trying to figure out where this goes. Well, that's all the harvesting done now, so we're just going to drop the rest of this corn in and we can take the harvester off hire. In fact, we could probably do that now so we don't get another cost, and I believe it's in this menu now. What are we looking for? Glass, which is there, so we'll return that one and the header, which is this one as well. I don't know how much the lease cost was in total, but we'll find out. But we've got another 14,850 litres going into the grain bins. We did originally have 7,240 litres. So now once this is tipped in, this will give us the final figure. But I don't think we did too bad from that harvest. There we go. Right, let's go and check now. So we've got 60,360 litres, which means we did about 53-ish, just over 53,000 litres of corn for that 2 fields. So that's not too bad. I did look into, where are we? Oh, it's not there now because we own it. I did look into this, and propane hasn't been added as a fill trigger, but I can potentially do it manually, which is what I'm going to try and do between this clip and the next clip. So we're going to find out then. If I can't do it, then I'm going to have to find another way of doing it. There is some mod, some water and propane production, which does it automatically and basically just distributes it from that plant we place into this one here, straight into propane when it's distributing. But that's not the case just now. I haven't used that mod, so I'm going to try and edit the XML file and see what we can come up with. But for now, I'm going to go and dry some more corn. Because we've got the propane, the ethanol plant now, we've got everything we need, we just need some dry corn. So that's what I'm away to go and work on just now. We'll get some more made up, we'll take this tractor, fill up a bit more, take it down here, get it dried, skip forward a couple of hours. And before we take a load over of dry corn or sorghum, I will test to see if the XML file edit has worked, because I need to do a bit of editing in there, add some classes, and I think there's a few other things to do as well. Something to do with nodes. So let me work on that in the background, and I'll see if we can get something working in the meantime. But let's go and put in some corn here. We do still have a decent bit of sorghum to get us going. At least it's enough to get something through the ethanol plant so we can get it running. But let's go and work on this propane thing just now, and we'll see you in the next clip. Hopefully we have it figured out. If not, I'll need to place that propane production mod and set it to distributing. So let's go and get some corn dried, and we'll see you in just a minute. Well, it's taken a little bit of time, but we finally managed to get propane put into the production. I did edit XML files, but it didn't really do much apart from break the little, where it says dried corn and corn on the right hand side above the speedometer. It broke that and it said missing file when it had propane in the tank. So That didn't work, but we have finally managed, and we used power tools while standing over this trigger to manually tip to ground the 17,050 litres of propane we had in the tanker. So we've got it working just now. Now we're putting in the corn and the dried corn, which for some reason isn't wanting to tip in the dried corn. What's going on there? It's definitely in the right one, is it? Yeah, it's in the back hopper. Oh, now we've got another issue. It's not going to let us tip dried corn in. Oh no. Well, we have another issue. Dried corn not accepted here. Oh no, I thought everything was ready to go. We took on the harvesting contract for sorghum as well, so we had some left over. Right, let me do this manually. So with propane and dried corn, this is what we have to do now then. I think. Right, let's go and put this in manually, and then we'll go and complete this contract so we have a little bit more sorghum, but we can check this just now while we're here. In the production menu. So we dried another load of corn. I stopped it with 1 litre of corn left. But we do have the 17,050 litres of propane in. We just put in 14,200 litres of corn, and we put in, I believe that's all the sorghum we have, 13,400 litres. It was, yes. It's still saying we've got some dried, oh, it's because we filled the hopper in the trailer. Yep. So I potentially dry another load of corn, which would do 8,000 litres at a time. Right, I'm going to get this dry corn put in, then we can finally start the ethanol plant. So let's go and put in that 20,200 litres just now. Right, that's that corn tipped in now, so we should have all the ingredients. 14,200 litres of corn, 20,200 litres of dry corn, 17,550 litres of propane, and 13,428 litres of sorghum. So let's activate that production, and that is going now. I don't know how quick it's going to start coming down. I'm assuming this is going to take a little bit of time, so we've got time to harvest the sorghum field to put it in. Because with propane, the sorghum and the corn all need to be around the same amount. And then dry corn, we need 4 times as much dry corn, so we do need to get more dry corn. Maybe a bit more corn, propane and sorghum as well, but definitely we need to dry some corn. But at the moment the worker is full in that combine with the sorghum contract, so let's race over to him. Well, that's that contract complete, or almost complete. We're just taking this last load of stuff in now. I did take this trailer that I've just emptied. I took it down for a start to unload it because I knew there wasn't going to be enough to take everything. So I've already unloaded what's in here. I'm sure it just said unload. Oh, I pushed the wrong button. There we go. So yeah, this is from what was in the combine that was left over. So there's not too much in here. No, there wasn't much there at all. Right, let's empty this one. So once we see the money start to rise, we will stop unloading and use this, take this probably straight to the ethanol plant, I think. While that's unloading, in fact, we'll just wait until it's finished actually. It's probably going to save the game, and it's going to waste a little bit of time, and then we're going to miss stopping unloading. So it's probably going to take most of this by the looks of it. And saying that maybe not, the percentage is climbing up quite quickly. There we go. So $729 of harvest income, plus we've still got 7,200 litres. So let's take a quick look here. We can complete this contract because it's done. So minus $1,000 for the lease cost of the harvester, $25,054 in total. Take a look at the ethanol plant. We've already got 205 litres, and this is going to make it up to about 20,000 litres of sorghum. So we need a little bit more, almost 6,000 litres of corn. Plenty of propane just now, but we do need to buy more because I don't know if what I did before will always work. So I'd rather have more propane in just now than needed. But we only have $74,000 in the bank, so not ideal. However, there should be a good bit of money coming in from the ethanol plant. Let's just quickly check actually. When is the best sell time for ethanol? Oh, May, not till next year. Well, we're at just now 9,000. 9,000 is the best. So yeah, we're going to wait until May to sell all this, but that gives us plenty of time. It gives us a few months to actually process things and get it ready. I don't think there is much more in the way of contracts. There's a few good cultivating contracts again. I think there was it one of these? That's a sorghum contract, and so is that one. There's no corn contract, so I think that's it done for the year. So once this runs out, whatever the first product is to run out down at the ethanol plant, we're going to stop the production until probably this time next year, maybe a little earlier actually. Maybe September, October time. And then we can go again because we'll have harvested sorghum and corn again. But until then, we can't really use the ethanol plant until it's finished up whatever it's got in just now. So let's get that done just now. We'll drop this off at the ethanol plant. It's going to keep running. We'll leave the corn just now. We don't need to dry anymore just yet. But if we do need to, we'll dry a load and take it over as we need it. Probably with a little tractor and trailer, it's going to be a bit easier than this because we're not going to be taking over thousands of litres. It's only going to be maybe, I think it's 6,800 litres every time. But we've got the ethanol plant in this episode, and that was the goal. And we've got it running as well, which I didn't expect to have. I thought it was going to be jumping through a bit more hoops than that to get the propane working, but we're there and it's working, so I'm happy. I think I may go and take another 20,000 litres of propane down and put it in though, but before we load it in, I'm going to show you how we do it. So if you're stuck doing this and you want the ethanol plant going, you can follow the steps that I do to make it work. Oh, he's stopping. No, he's not. Why did this slow down there? Oh, the AI drivers in this, and then he takes off. That's great. So yeah, if you're wanting to follow along, or you're doing this at home, or you're getting the ethanol plant and you just want it working and you don't want to go through all the edit and XML files, and it's past me as well. I thought I had it figured out, but no, I broke it slightly, but we've got it back and working. So let's drop this off. We'll see you a bit down here with another load, maybe around 20,000 litres of propane, and we'll show you how it's done. Well, that was very unexpected on the road there. I did notice though, it did the same in FS22 with this truck. And when it's loaded, it seems okay when it's unloaded, but when it's loaded with stuff, it kind of drifts over the road a little bit. That and the fact I was going probably just a little bit far too fast, I would say. But yeah, when you try and straighten up a little bit like here, try and correct it, whatever way you've corrected it, like that's me just going left, it steers to the left. And if you just correct it to the right a little, it veers to the right. I don't know what's causing that. The bump in the road and the car wasn't a good mix. And definitely the speed. Especially with propane. This is the second time we've done that. But we didn't crash the first time, we did this time. So yeah, we're almost there. Let's show you how this is done. Right, that's us here now. So if we stop here, So we've got 24,950 litres. So if we run over here, and if we go to, I think it's there. So if we select current trigger, because we are over the trigger right now for where we need to tip into, I'll just double check this again. 24,950. Right, over the trigger. So we need to put in propane, 24,950. So what I've done here is I've pressed F12 to get into the Power Tools menu. So there's quite a lot of stuff. If you haven't used this before, I recommend downloading it. It has a massive amount of stuff and it completely changes the way you can play the game. Especially if you want to go unrealistic or add in stupid amounts of money so you can do what you want when you want. You don't have to work your way up to it. This has all of that. So we're in the placeable section here. I've just reset that, 24,950. And then because we're on the trigger, we've selected the current trigger. I assume it would work if I wasn't here. I could manually add it. Because we're meant to deliver it here, I've driven down here with it. Then we do this to add it to the factory. And then we remove it out of the truck. I'll also show you how to do that as well. So we're tipping propane to the trigger. We're adding in 24,950 litres. And we'll press the tick, and then at the bottom it says it's tipped 24,950 litres to this trigger. So now, after it saves, when we go in here, we had about, was it 17? Just under 17,000 litres we had because it's been running. And now we've got 41,872 litres. So that's went into the factory now. So that's how we get that workaround just now. And now, for the truck, if we jump in, I'm just wanting to test this just to see if the trigger works now or not. I've not changed anything else since doing this the first time. But yeah, even pressing I, it says it cannot be performed here. So yeah, that's not working. So what we do here is, because we're in the truck, if you have different hoppers in a trailer, you'll see on the very top left hand icon there, we've got the truck there and the trailer. Sometimes you have to select the trailer first that you're wanting to edit. We go in and press F12 again, but this time we go to the vehicles section. Sometimes if it is split between different bits, like if I had both of my Super B trailers hooked up, there's two hoppers in each one. So it'll say fill unit 1, which is the front hopper, fill unit 2, which is the second hopper. I think, if I'm right in saying, you need to select the second trailer, and then it'll also be fill unit 1 for the first compartment in the second trailer, fill unit 2, second compartment in the second trailer. That's where you would use that. But because this is one whole compartment in the trailer, we've got here propane just now, but we want to empty it. So it's 0. And now we just press tick, and that's successfully emptied unit 1, which is the whole unit. And now on the bottom right there, you can see now it's emptied the propane. So now we've emptied the tanker, we have paid for the propane, we transported it, and we've added propane into the production chain. This works with all the production chains. That's the way you would do it if you can't manually add it in, or the trigger is broken, or they haven't added it in, or something's wrong somewhere. That's how you would do it. So now that we've added the propane, we're kind of sorted for that if this doesn't work in future, or something bugs and it doesn't let us do it. So that's that done for now. Let's just have a quick check. I don't think we really have much time left for doing as much as it would be good to do some of these. We're kind of running out of time for today. Cultivating contracts, if they're there tomorrow, which they won't be, there's only 2 hours left on them. Same with some of these. Yep, so I think they're only up for 1 day other than the supply and transport. This one here is 57 hours left. And the wood transport's 58 hours. So yeah, most of these are going to disappear tomorrow. The deadwood contract will still be there. But I think it's maybe best to jump into tomorrow. I'll just double check this is off. Yeah, that's fine. That's running. I will fast forward an hour or two just to make sure it's not going to empty itself, which it shouldn't do. But I think potentially add some more dry corn, so I might do another run of that. How much have we got left of corn? 30,000 litres. We could take maybe 20,000 litres, dry it, put it into the production. So I think that's going to be the next job. Right, we'll leave this tanker here because it's only used for this. That's why it's white. Right, let's hook up this, take it back to the farm and get drying some corn. We'll see you over there and see if we're going to take on anything else. Probably not. I think that's going to be kind of the end of the episode there. But let's head back to the farm anyway. We'll dry some corn. We'll do a little montage of taking it here. Fast forward time into tomorrow to see how much ethanol we have produced. Well, it's now the following morning and we're into December 1st now. We're just going to take a quick look in here. So we did dry some more corn, but we don't need to put any in yet because it hasn't really used much. But we can see how much we've made. So yeah, we've got 14,200 litres of dried corn. We've still got 14,100 litres of corn, but we've got almost 2,000 litres of ethanol already. The price just now is a bit low at $9,300 per 1,000 litres. So that's almost $24,000. And the price, or the best price for ethanol, I should say. So we're just below halfway just now. It will go up to 12,600. So it's going to be about 25 grand for that. So that's not too bad. We'll just leave it running. Ticking over until the dry corn is needed to be topped up, but we do have a couple of contracts that has came through today. Now it is -4 just now currently, so it's a bit frosty this morning. However, we have a corn contract here. There is another one. There's another corn contract there, and we have 2 soybean contracts. I think I'm going to try and get them all done. However, that is going to be in the next episode. And there's also, I think we're maybe going to do these 2 cultivating contracts as well, because we do need to buy a cultivator for the Massey Ferguson tractor. Simply because I don't think we're going to have the money available before we need to cultivate our fields to get them ready for the next crop next year. So we've got 3 fields now that need to be done. Let's just check and see. I did think so. So both of our cornfields do need ploughed, so we can set the Massey off today and get that done, but we need to wait until it warms up just a little bit more. Field 9 needs cultivated, so we'll need to buy a cultivator for that field. But it also means we can do cultivating contracts as well when they come through. So we need to find one that is relatively decent size. Obviously this one is going to be way too big. I think that's the Summers Chisel. Let's have a quick look here. There is a roller in the store, but I think I'm going to hold off until we can get a slightly larger one. Yeah, the Summers Super Chisel. So that's 18.3 meters. That would be ideal, but it needs 630 horsepower, which we don't have. But that is doable. I think it's 300 and I want to say about 325 horsepower for the Massey. So that one is just out of range, which is a bit unfortunate. But 9 meters, that is doable. So I'm not sure 100% which one I'm going to get first. 6 meters or 9. There's not much difference between the price of the that top down there or this one. So I think it's going to have to be this one. Unless the tractor comes up on the sale, which I don't think it is going to, and even if it does, we don't have the money just now to get it. So I think first off, I'm going to go and work away on our fields, get them both ploughed, and we'll get a worker going on the other contracts as well. So that'll be in the next episode. But we've got the ethanol plant running, the propane is in, we bought some more and dropped it off, so that is fantastic. At least we've got a head start for that. And we are producing ethanol, we've got almost 2,000 litres of it. So we'll leave the episode there. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again in the next one very soon. Thanks for watching.